All right. So part two.
Now, it's important that I do not skip the fact that during my tumor surgery for my cervical cancer, I got a hysterectomy. And that's important because it's going to play a part in my next health crisis. So when I go back to work, I'm probably back to work maybe 6 to 8 months. And I'm working alongside Dorothy. And, you okay? Yada, yada, yada. She's just being there for me to make sure, like, I'm not doing too much as I return to work. I know that I'm in love, but she don't know that I'm in love. And she's actually involved in a entanglement. Let's just say that. Was respectful of that because I feel like just because I began to feel something and she hadn't, it was wrong for me to impose what it was I was feeling on her. Okay, so I tell Dorothy how I'm feeling about her during an incident that happened while she was in the relationship with the other young lady. And something happened physical. Now that's her story to tell. And I bust out crying. Oh my God, she gonna unalive you and I'm in love with you. So in me saying it caught Dorothy off guard and she was just like lost. So boom, after I tell Dorothy that, we began the dating process. Well, not at first, because at first she was like, no, I don't want to ruin our relationship as friends. Like, I care a lot about you. And I respected that. I was like, okay. But then she came back probably a couple of weeks later. And she was like, okay, like, so if we try this, we got to agree that in the end, if it don't work, we'll always remain friends, yada, yada, yada. So we went ahead and started dating. Long story short and short story long, we probably dated for about 8 months before we got engaged. And then from being engaged, we got married. So we get married June 1st, 2019. And in us getting married, we made a decision out the gate that we was moving out of state because my family depended on me way too much for me to focus on the marriage, and so did her family. We both have the position of being, the go-to person for Houston, Texas. Probably we got married June 1st, 2019. So we probably moved to Houston, Texas July 1st of the following year. Okay, so we relocate to Houston, Texas, and in us relocating to Houston, Texas, COVID strikes. Well, quick as we get there, COVID strikes. And in COVID striking, work was minimum because of the fact that the world was on lockdown. So I gained some weight during this time because I was essentially a stay-at-home wife, and Dorothy was doing all the working. So I gained some weight then, but it wasn't major weight like what I'm going through right now. So as the world starts to open back up a little bit and I feel comfortable, I go back to work. I stayed away because I had pre-existing conditions. I wasn't gonna get the vaccine, and I didn't want to catch COVID. But I go back to work and I noticed that I have gained some weight, but it wasn't massive. So I began to like take care of myself, yada yada yada, and that weight came right back. Now the difference in healthcare in Indiana and the difference in healthcare in Houston, Texas was immense, because in Houston, Texas, the residents was like just there in the nursing home. Like if they family didn't provide the bare essentials like briefs, wipes, body wash, soap, sometimes towels, they was hit. And I don't know if it was because of COVID or it was a normal routine. But I had to always like go to Walmart and get me some supplies to take care of the residents. So in doing that, I got frustrated and I left healthcare and I went to management for DD's discount. This is important. I know y'all like why, but this is important. So I'm working for DD's discount and I've been working there probably about 4 or 5 months. And I began to feel like this cramping in my leg. And the cramping in my leg, at first I paid no attention to. I think immense Charlie horse, and it's just ongoing, and I can't get rid of it. My regular doctor, she give me some pain medicine for it, no tests, and we go on with life. Fast forward about 3 months after I first discovered the pain, because it didn't stay continuously, but it came and left, so to speak. And 3 months later, I knew that this pain was a problem. I knew. This pain in my leg went from being a pain in my abdomen, and this pain felt like cramps, but intense. So now my ass big, I'm nervous, I'm worried, I'm like, oh my God, not again. And I'm hoping, wishing, praying that I don't have a reoccurrence of my tumor. But I did not have any bleeding, but I had this pain. So I went to my primary care doctor the very next day. My primary care doctor, she sent me to a specialist. And in going to the specialist, they told me that I had a sciatic nerve in my leg. And that sciatic nerve was causing this pain in my abdomen and now in my back. So they treat me for a sciatic nerve, which is minimum. I'm talking physical therapy, some naproxen, and that's the end of your treatment for sciatic nerve. And if you ever had a sciatic nerve, you know that ain't none of that gonna work. I mean, none of it. I'm at work one day, and the pain becomes unbearable. So I tell, my boss that somebody needs to come in and replace me. I need to go home. Now we in the season of the holiday. So it's the holiday 2022. And I know y'all like, you just skipped over some years, because those years was happy years in my marriage. And that's another story for a different day. Now we at Thanksgiving Day 2022. And I'm in some pain, but it's minimum, and I'm taking the medicine that I'm supposed to be taking to help manage this pain, and I'm cooking and singing. And if you know me, from October to New Year's, I'm a holiday bliss. I'm just a holiday bliss. But I'm cooking and I'm carrying on, and I get on the couch to take a nap. And in this nap, I feel coldness, I feel warmth, I feel a variety of things. And these things wake me up out of my sleep. And I wake up out of my sleep to the most horrible smell I've ever smelled in my life. And essentially, I tried to move my legs, and I couldn't. During my nap, I had lost control of my bowel and bladder, and I became partially paralyzed. And my wife cleaned me up from hearing me scream the scream of a lifetime and rushed me to the hospital. At the end of every post, I'm going to insert photos so you can see my transition throughout life and the way it came and went.